This video is a tutorial on how to do the drone slider shot or dolly shot. Now we start out just showing the general area, then I pan down and slide across to show the main subject, which is some real estate in the area right here. Here's another shot that's more cinematic as I move slowly across the countryside, keeping objects in the foreground, midground, and background for interest. Now when I think of the dolly shot, I usually think of the large dollies that the movie industry uses, and they run on rails or tracks and often have cranes involved so the camera can move up and down and sideways while it's going. Now for us, we can usually afford some cheaper versions like this Doozy 4, which runs on a rail, and it has a flywheel attached to keep the camera steady throughout the travel. These are very affordable for us and work well for small shots. But when you want to do a big shot outside, what's better to use than a drone? Now here's my MAVIC Pro where I'm getting ready to do a dolly shot, just taking off and getting into position. So let's get started on how to do it.
Welcome to Retired Time Productions.
Now I've switched over from D-Log color to D-Cinelike color, and I've got on a white balance of sunny still. And now let's look at the custom settings in the camera settings. Now I still have an ISO 100 for the film speed, and I've got 24 frames a second, and I've got a shutter speed of 50. Now it's in manual. In the camera settings I have colors D-Cinelike, like I said, and for the white balance that is sunny, like I said. And then I have a custom style here with 0 for the sharpness and -1 for the contrast and -1 for the saturation. Now later in another video I will explain how I color grade this in Magic's Movie Edit Pro, so you might want to stay tuned for that. To begin my dolly sequence, I fly down to the end of the road and get my quad positioned at the beginning. Then I turn the quad 90 degrees to the right so that I can fly sideways down the same path. I watch my map in the lower left of my screen to make sure that the pointer for the MAVIC is pointed 90 degrees. Then I turn the gimbal up so that I can get 1/3 sky, aligned with the top line on my grid. Then start flying sideways. I go very slow by pushing the roll stick to the right just a little bit and hold it there. I try to keep objects in the foreground, midground, and background to make the shot interesting. So we have trees, a house on a hill, and a mountain in the back to make an interesting effect. So in this next sequence, I'm flying at a low altitude just below the treetops, headed for the barn. I plan to use this shot later to do a vertigo effect in Magic's Movie Edit Pro, so stay tuned to see that one. So I'm going to get up close to the barn, and then I'm basically going to do a dolly pullback shot going in reverse back to the starting point. So here we go, just pulling back. Now this has been sped up with Magic's Movie Edit Pro to make it run a little faster and a little more dramatic. So if you have any questions, you can just leave them under the video. I hope this will inspire you to get out with your drone and try some of these techniques. So that's all for now. We'll talk to you later. Landing.